Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Are you here? Are you all here na? Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. Group 5, can you please raise your hands so that we can start na din? Yes. Marami tayo ngayon. Hindi kayo kasama sa culmination. No, as may culmination later na CAS. Yes, good morning. So, Group 5, kanino ko ibibigay yung control ng PowerPoint? By the way, your grades are available. PM nyo na lang ako later for viewing of your grades or grades consultation. Kanino ko bibigay yung PowerPoint control ng PowerPoint? Group 5. So today na we will be talking about complementarian. Sige, Jason, pakisuyo na lang. Nakita na kita. Ayan. You may start.
Good morning po, may audible po.
Yes po.
Okay, so kami po yung Group 5 and we will present the complementarian marriage. So, the complementarian marriage po is also known as a different but equal philosophy. So, complementarian marriage is built on the different but equal philosophy. So, which holds that partners have distinct roles and responsibilities but are equal inherent worth. So even though that they have qualities na magkaiba sila, they still somehow they still complements each other and nagagawa nila yung task efficiently. Ayan. So for the decision making and authority, so babasahin ko po muna, then I will give an example. So who has the final say? If a couple disagrees on a major purchase or a move, how is this conflict resolved? When disagreements arise over major decisions like large purchases or relocations, conflict is typically resolved by aligning choices with each partner's designated role and strengths. So the final say may rest with the partner whose role is deemed most relevant to the decision. In given examples like financial matters with the breadwinner or family care decisions with the homemaker. Example po is like yung Santos family who lives in um Rodriguez Rizal. So the couple debates relocating to Cebu for a job opportunity and versus the other partner naman po is staying to care for an aging grandparent. So si partner A who is focused on breadwinning and career pushes for relocating to boost long-term family support. While si partner B naman po is prioritizing grandparents' well-being and children's stability, especially with their school. So yung conflict resolution po nito is the align with the role strengths. So si partner B leads care options research, while si partner A nag-explore ng flexible work solutions like work from home. So since family care is partners B's core focus, they decided to stay locally and partner A negotiates arrays, and remote work setup to balance needs. For ano naman po, source of authority, um, is the leadership based on tradition, religious text, specific skill, or mutual agreement. So, leadership authority is commonly rooted in religious texts or long-standing cultural traditions. Though some modern complementary relationships also incorporate mutual agreement and consider each partner's specific specific skill sets when defining leadership scope. So, all about naman po on who leads the family. So, an example po nito is the De La Cruz family, their model draws from um Filipino cultural traditions. So with adjustments and based on individual strengths. So in cultural tradition based, so long-standing family customs emphasize the partner with deeper community ties taking lead on matters involving extended family celebrations and neighborhood relationship. So kung sino po yung medyo inclined dun sa familial matters, sila po yung nag-head dun sa family. And for the skill-based naman adaptation po, another philosophy, kung sino po yung mas magaling on that field. For an example, si partner A with engineering background, siya yung nag-lead ng decisions about home renovations, property investment, and vehicle purchases. While si partner B naman po, siya yung nagma-manage ng agricultural plot and a strong local connections. So, they lead decisions about harvest planning, festival preparations, and resolving issues with relatives or neighbors. So, the source of authority, rooted in Filipino cultural traditions with leadership assigned based on both custom. And na-apply din dito yung specific skills relevant to each decision. So, yun lang po for the decision making and authority.
For the division of labor naman po, so dito naman po is sa traditional setup, usually po yung lalaki po yung expected to earn money and support the family. While yung babae naman po yung expected to to take care of the home and children and basic daily needs po. And yung mga ganitong setup po are usually followed most of the time, pero minsan po nagkakaroon ng flexibility or changes. For example, if the one who earns money loses a job or gets sick, the other partner may take over that role. Pero yung mga ganitong changes po or setup are often temporary lang po. Kasi once na nag-improve na po yung situation nila as a couple, they usually goes back to their original roles po. Next po.
And for the next discussion naman po, we'll talk about emotional and social dynamics. First, we have the communication style, kung saan partners express their needs in different ways. It can be top-down where one partners leads. Side by side na equal ang discussion, where both rely on each other and work as a team. Next is the perception of value. Dito, we see that partners can be equal in worth but different in function. Ibig sabihin, kahit magkaiba ang roles nila, pantay pa rin ang value nila sa relationship. On the other hand, meron ding setup na ordered by rank where one partner may have more authority. Another important point is communication partners should openly share their needs and perspectives while respecting each other's roles and expertise. Importante ang understanding at proper communication para maiwasan ang conflict. Next po.
Rinig po ba ako?
Opo.
Okay. Um, sa impact naman po tayo sa children, how might growing up in this dynamic influence a child's view of gender roles and authority? Kapag lumaki ang mga bata sa isang komplementarya na family, nasasanay sila na may kanya-kanya silang roles ang parents nila. Halimbawa, yung isa mas focus sa pagpo-provide and pagli-lead, habang yung isa naman mas focus sa caregiving at bahay. Dahil dito, natututo sila na kahit magkaibang roles, parehong importante ang contribution. Different but equal. Naintindihan din nila na ang authority sa family is based on responsibility, hindi dahil mas superior yung isa. Pero at the same time, pwede rin itong ma-shape yung pananaw nila sa gender roles. Maaari nilang isipin na yung certain roles are for men and women lang at madala nila yon sa future. Pero overall, nakakatulong siya sa pag-develop ng teamwork at respect. Pero importante pa rin na may freedom ang mga bata na i-explore ang sarili nilang strengths at choices.
Good morning. So, for relationship longevity, what are the specific stress points or safety nets? Does a hierarchy offer more stability but less intimacy? Does egalitarianism offer more satisfaction but more frequent resolution of activity? So, safety nets include clear expectation that reduce ambiguity, while stress points may arise if partners feel their roles are overly restrictive, or if life changes require more significant adjustment than the model allows. Some report strong stability from defined roles, though others note potential strain if communication about evolving needs is limited. So dito kasi sa relationship longevity, dito pumapasok yung tinatawag na safety nets at stress points. Safety nets kasi it include clear expectation. So alam ng bawat isa yung gagawin o yung role nila sa relationship. Kaya less confusion, less conflict, dahil klaro yung mga bibilang dagdagan. While the stress points naman, nandito kasi yung mga moments na nagiging challenging yung model. Example dito is kung si wife ay may magandang idea sa financial planning, pero hindi siya nabibigyan ng equal voice dahil nga yung role na yun is para sa partner niya at hindi sa kanya. So, dahil dito, pwede siyang makaramdam ng frustration at dito na nagkakaroon or pumapasok yung tension. So, kung titignan natin, yes, may malinaw na trade-off yung dalawang models. Sa hierarchy kasi, may final say ang isang partner. Ang advantage nito ay stability and clarity kasi hindi na kailangan magtagal sa negotiation. Lalo na kung sino ang magde-decide. For example, kung financial decision, si breadwinner ang may authority and kung childcare si homemaker naman. Dahil nga may clear division, mas mabilis ang decision making at mas conflict ang conflict. Pero ang kapalit nito ay minsan nababawasan ng intimacy sa isa't isa. Bakit? Kasi hindi laging nagiging equal yung decision making. Yung partner na walang final say ay pwede makiramdam ng distance. So yung hierarchy na to means mas stable siya pero mas mababa ang emotional closeness niya. Egalitarianism naman, parehong may equal say ang partner. So ang advantage nila ay may emotional satisfaction to. So parehong nararamdaman ng partner na valued yung kanilang opinion. Mas mataas ang intimacy kasi parehong involved sa decision making. Pero ang downside kasi nito ay negotiation fatigue. Kasi lahat ng bagay is kailangan ng pag-usapan. Minsan nakakapagod din kung every small detail ay kailangan ng compromise. Imagine kung araw-araw kailangan mo pang mag-decide kung sino yung maghuhugas ng pinggan, sino ang mag-aalaga ng bata, sino ang magbayad ng bills. Kung walang clear division, pwede siyang mag-lead sa stress at burnout.
For the individual growth naman, Does this relationship encourage both partners to develop all their talents, or does it require one partner to suppress certain traits for the sake of structure? So the model encourages development of talents aligned with one's role. So, but may require partners to suppress traits that do not fit their designated responsibilities. For example, a partner with a strong leadership skills in household management may not have opportunities to exercise them in professional settings if breadwinning is their primary role. So nangyayari po ito kasi yung isang partner po is napuput in a bubble and hindi niya na po nagagawa yung mga or di na siya masyado napupunta sa situations na bago sa kanya and ma-exercise po sana yung ibang roles in the relationship. Next po.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
Apo.
Okay, sir. So for the societal reflection, if every family followed this, how would it change our workforce or our community leadership? So if universally adopted, this model could lead to a workforce and community leadership structure that values both care-oriented and provision-oriented roles. It can potentially create more specialized pathways for different strengths. However, it might also slow progress toward the parity in traditional gendered fields. So, uh, for now, sa generation natin ngayon, makikita natin na may mga iba't ibang gender roles na open for women, for both sex na may mga usually 'di ba before yung ano lang is kapag linis, kapag luto, automatically pag babae ka dapat marunong kang gumanon, pag lalaki ka dapat dun ka sa mga construction or ano. Pero nowadays makikita naman natin na puwede ng may mga chef na tayo na mga lalaki, may mga babae na din na more on dun sila sa kagaya yan sa mga racing which is more masculine. So yung ganon, this kind of model, it can allows us to see both potentially for both genders. Pero yun nga, it might lead to na baka mas piliin lang nila kung saan silang mas best. Which is baka instead of gender equality yung maging result, baka maging imbalance yung gender roles natin kasi baka mas piliin lang nila kung saan sila din mas magaling. That's
Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Group 5. Group 6. Group 6. Tama yung sinabi, no, na sabi ba sa racing, no? Iba na, pati may babae na sa loob ng racing. Kasi may pinsan ako, professional racers siya internationally. Okay, Group 6, ayan. Hi, Bethsaida. So, sino mag-upload ng ano? Yes, thank you for that. Sino mag-upload ng PowerPoint nyo? Or gusto nyo send sa yung Canva link nyo? Kahit dito na lang send, tapos i-upload ko na lang para mas mabilis. Or kayo mag-upload. Kanino ko ibibigay crown? Anyone? Group 6, kanino ko bibigay? Or wala kayong PowerPoint? Guys? Ay, dito yung ano. And uploading na. Kanina sino magko-control ng PowerPoint?
Sir, ako na lang po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. And mag-upload na. Yan. G, you may start. Yes po.
this part naman po, pag-uusapan po natin kung ano yung mga specific, natural, or ordained strengths each partner is expected to bring to the table. So first naman po, pag-usapan muna natin yung strength ng husband. So in many traditional views of family roles, the husband is seen as the initiator and protector, someone who carries the responsibility of providing security, making important decisions, and guiding the family through challenges. So yung una niyang strength ay yung sacrificial protection, either physical or emotional. So the husband is often seen as the one who protects the family, not only physically but also emotionally. Siya rin yung in-expect na willing to face difficulties, risk, and hardships first in order to keep his family safe. Pangatlo naman yung decisive responsibility. So yung husband is usually viewed as the one who makes final decisions when important matters arise. So this role shows his responsibility to lead carefully and ensure that the family stays in the right direction. Last naman ay yung provision. Yung husband naman, yung often considered the main provider of the family needs. So in-include nito na hindi lang yung material support, pati rin yung bibigay ng sense of stability, strength, and security para sa family. So on the other hand naman, yung wife is often seen as the nurturer. Yung strength niya, nakafocus sa pag-build ng strong relationship, pag-offer ng support, and creating a loving home environment for the family. So, firstly, yung isa sa mga strength niya ay yung pagkakaroon ng relational intelligence. So, yung wife is often seen as someone who naturally understands emotion and builds strong relationships. Siya rin yung tumutulong sa pag-create ng closeness, care, and harmony within the family. So, next is the influence ng wife influence. So, yung wife, hindi lang siya only helper sa home, isa rin siyang thoughtful partner who gives advice and support for the family. Her wisdom helps in handling challenges and making good decisions for the family. And lastly, yung cultivation. So the wife is often viewed as someone who nurtures and develops what she is given, whether in raising children or managing the home. She helps the family grow in a healthy and loving environment. So together, itong mga strengths na to, pinapakita nito yung partnership where both husband and wife contribute in different but equally valuable ways. Next topic po. Next slide po.
Ubo. So in decision in making and authority, more on decision is are discussing mutually, might input some advice and perspective. perspective. More on the husband is the final say when the sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, yung husband nga daw yung magiging decision nun, and magiging conflict ng resolution nun is more on tawag dito, open communication nga, obviously dapat considered pa rin yung both sides nila, and magde-decision talaga siya sa more on connected do sa welfare talaga ng family, and yung source talaga na authority is the more on is basis from the religion and religion traditional and mutual agreement, obviously. Next slide. So obviously, tawag dito, sa division of labor is more on sa traditional na yung husband is magiging breadwinner or provider. Meanwhile, yung wife kasi magiging housemaker, obviously na nasa bahay lang. Kasi nga more on yung asawa sa yung lalaki kasi more on parang siya nagbibigay ng income for this family, and yung nga nakasulat din na siya na bahala sa pagiging stability ng pamilya nila, and while dun nga yung babae nga, yung wife is mostly intentional na para siya nag-aalaga sa bahay o kaya sa mga bata. Next slide. So flexibility. Sa flexibility naman is more on na yun kasi parang pwede naman pag-usapan yung roles talaga. Meaning, hindi talaga siya fixed na yun. Pwede mong sabihin sa partner mo kung anong gusto mong mangyari. Depende lang yan. So, anong kailangan nyo, and more on pwede nyo i-communicate yan kasi obviously is kahit sino naman pwede rin magtrabaho at saka pwede naman sino sa kanila kung pwede sila mag-alaga ng bahay, mag-alaga ng mga bata sa pamilya. So meaning tawag dito is more on the boundaries ng relationship is typical, fluid talaga. Di talaga parang fixed talaga, is more on situational talaga. And parang yung role swapping kasi is more on safety net talaga na para maiwasan masira yung pamilya nila or kaya parang katibayan talaga ng relationship within the family. So, next reporter.
Let's now move on naman po sa emotional and social dynamics. In terms of communication styles, how do partners express their needs? So for complementarian po, the communication style is interdependent, which means that the partner works together but within defined roles. For example po, si wife po yung nagbibigay ng advice, suggestions, or ideas, while si husband naman po yung to take ng action for the final decision. So, in that case, it's a shared process wherein they mostly work together, even if one leads in certain areas, traditionally, the husband po. Pero it depends pa rin po on mutual respect and open dialogue. And as we all know naman po na without good communication, it can easily become unbalanced or mas prone po sa pag-aaway yung mag-partner. And in terms naman po of perception of value, in this model po, both partners are equally important and respected. But their roles are different like I said. For example po, one may act as the leader and provider, while the other one naman po is yung kumikilos sa loob ng bahay. With that being said, it is considered as equally in worth but different in function. And hindi po totally nakadepende yung identity and worth sa role na binibigay nila in marriage. And ayun lang po for emotional and social dynamics. Next slide po.
So when it comes to impact on children, how might growing up in this dynamic influence a child's view of gender roles and authority? So kapag lumaki ang bata sa complementarian marriage model, malaki po yung epekto nito sa perspective or pananaw niya tungkol sa gender roles at authority. Sa gender roles, ang bata usually is matututo na ang lalaki ang in charge at decision maker, habang yung babae ang nag-aalaga at sumusuporta. Ang isipin nito ay fixed na ang roles at dapat sundin din sa future relationships niya. So when it comes to authority, dahil sanay siya na may clear hierarchy, tatay ang leader, this can teach the child to respect people who are in charge and to like having a plan. Pero downside is, baka mahirapan siyang makita ang idea ng equal teamwork. Kasi ang nakasanayan niya ay laging may isang mas mataas na role. So overall po, ang bata ay pwedeng lumaki na may mindset na ganito dapat ang lalaki, ganito dapat ang babae. And it can affect how the child thinks about relationships, being in charge, and what their own role is in society.
Ngayon po, pag-usapan naman natin ang relationship longevity o kung gaano katagal at katibay ang marriage sa different but equal o complementary model. Una, tingnan natin ang safety nets dahil may clear hierarchy at defined roles ng husband bilang leader at wife bilang helper. Mas madali at malinaw ang pagdedesisyon. Kapag may hindi pagkakasundo po, may tiebreaker na hindi na kailangan pag-awayan ng matagal. Maiiwasan ang negotiation fatigue. Dagdag pa rito, karaniwan itong may malalim na religious commitment kaya mas mababa ang divorce rate kumpara sa ibang models. Pero hindi rin po perpekto, may stress points din. Kapag hindi maayos ang pagpapatupad, maaaring makaramdam ng resentment ang wife kapag feeling niya hindi siya naririnig o respected. Pwedeng ma-burnout naman ang husband kapag dahil sa bigat ng sole responsibility. ito ang maaaring magdulot ng pagbaba ng emotional intimacy, sexual satisfaction, at overall happiness sa marriage. Kung ikukumpara naman po sa egalitarianism na pantay-pantay ang lahat, ang hierarchy model ay nagbibigay ng mas mataas na stability at potential for long-lasting marriage. Pero ang egalitarian naman ay madalas nagbibigay ng higher satisfaction at closeness kahit na mas madalas silang magkaroon ng negotiation fatigue o pagod sa palaging pag-uusap at kompromiso. Sa madaling salita po, ang different but equal model ay pwedeng maging matibay at stable, pero ang tunay na susi po ay ang pagiging loving, sacrificial, at respectful na pwede ng parehong mag-asawa, hindi lang ang hierarchy mismo.
So when it comes to individual growth naman is, this model does not encourage both partners to develop all their talents, or it requires one partner or both of them to suppress certain traits for the sake of the structure. Sa complementarian model ay hindi lang basta do whatever you want yung growth. Ang idea dito ay both of them ay may specific role na dapat i-develop. Para sa lalaki, kahit naturally passive sila ay in-encourage pa rin silang mag-grow sa pagiging decisive at emotionally strong kasi yun ang kailangan para mag-lead at mag-protect ng family. While sa babae naman is, kahit sobrang galing niya sa leadership or management, ang growth niya ay nakafocus sa wisdom at influence para suportahan ang tahanan or community, and hindi para palitan ang leadership ng husband. So, ang growth dito ay parang isang stewardship. Ginagamit mo ang talents mo pero laging naka-align sa role na designated sa'yo. Minsan kailangan mag-sacrifice. Halimbawa, kung lalaki gustong maging stay-at-home parent, need niya pa rin mag-focus sa pagiging provider. Kung babae naman may potentially maging top, may potential sa pagiging top executive, pwede niyang ilimit ang career niya para remain yung heart of the home pa rin po.
Next is for societal impact. For societal impact, more men in leadership roles and more women focus on home roles. Less diversity in leadership and traditional system reinforced, or they may possibly limit perspective and decision making. So if every family followed the complementary model, the workforce would likely have more men in leadership and full-time jobs, while women would be focusing more on home responsibilities. This could reduce the number of women in higher positions and make workplaces less diverse. While in our community, leadership like politics or other organization would most likely be held by men, while women would support in other ways. This might create more traditional system, but could also potentially limit different ideas and perspective and decision making. But it depends if the husband listens or the man listens the woman's perspective. It can be an equal decision for the both of the persons. Thank you po, sir.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you group 5 and 6. So, actually there's a beauty in complementarian, no? Actually magandang complementarian. Then, though medyo malapit siya sa traditional or hierarchical, pero it's most practice usually. Especially here in the Philippines na medyo may influence pa rin tayo ng hierarchical. Pero at some point, dahil nga both parents are now earning and mas malaki na yung chances na nabibigyan na ng mas atensyon yung mga babae. And lumalabas na rin yung mga philosophical na equal sex, diba? We call this gender equality na parehas na silang equal. There's no such thing as mas mataas yung isa o sa baba. Yun ang view ng complementarian. So, thank you guys, no? You have done good reports, group 1 to 6. So, if you want to view your grades are now available. Please message me na lang later. See, it's already available for viewing. Please message me sa messenger ko na lang para mas mabilis. Thank you guys. God bless you all. You're all dismissed. See you next week.